I don't answer that. I don't know if you old, you old. You don't need to go in the ring to become old. You was old before you got in the ring.
Somebody wasn't watching in the gym. If you was old, somebody ain't looking in the gym. See it in the gym.
You watched boxing when you were a kid?
Yeah, I watched boxing.
Do you remember the first time you watched Bernard Hopkins?
No. No, I don't think I ever watched that guy. I don't think I ever watched that guy.
Are you a fan of his style? Are you a fan of watching his fights?
No. No. The word snooze fest comes to mind. That's what a lot of people say. You know, he's a boring fighter. They get cheated out of their money a lot of time, and they wish they didn't buy the fight. So, you know, I'm coming to change that.
On Saturday, March 9th, 48-year-old Bernard Hopkins returns to the ring in a title fight against undefeated IBF light heavyweight champion 31-year-old Tavoris Cloud. The fight takes place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and it'll be broadcast live on HBO. Today, we're at the legendary Gleason's Gym here in Brooklyn, New York, for a media workout between the two fighters.
You know, some fighters might, for good reasons, might say, man, they got me 3-1. Oh man, that's disrespectful. To me, it's like, yo, look where we come from. We in Gleason's Gym. Every fighter in the here that made it and some that didn't make it, they know what underdog means. You look around. Would you eat off the floor in this place? This is the underdog gym. That's why I wanted to be here in Gleason's. There's a lot of fresh gyms I could have been in with bags. They would have put it up for me. But I wanted to be at the grindy, where they understand my language and I understand their language. And we ain't got to speak. We on D block and I nod at him and he nod at me. We know what that means. We ain't got to go ahead and talk about, man, I'm a great fan, this and that. When we look at each other like I came in that front door and guys looked at me and did this, I looked at them, no smile, they did that. We know what that means. That's homage. You know what I mean? The Illuminati, they do this. They put their hands up. You know, the secret world. They got all, you know, the ear and all that. We got this. Sometimes we do the chin. You know what I mean?
What does the chin mean?
Huh?
What
we don't tell white folks that. No. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Hopkins is gunning to become the oldest fighter to capture a title, breaking his own record he set at age 46 when he defeated Jean Pascal for the WBC light heavyweight title.
Bernard, do you like it that some of the odds makers, a lot of them apparently are saying that Cloud is the favorite? You like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
Yes. Well, if you're Bernard Hopkins, well, I'm Bernard Hopkins, and understanding the role of being an underdog without boring anybody with the story, because I heard it, I've been in the game 2 decades. My beginning was an underdog, but my ending won't be. That was my own quote, just made up. But if it makes sense, then take it. The underdog has always been a motivation for Bernard Hopkins, because I believe any black man that goes up, any black man that lives in the ghetto that doesn't get a good education because he chooses not to, and then he go to penitentiary for 5 years, and then he walk off 9 years, and then he become the Bernard Hopkins, the living legend. Bernard Hopkins, the respectful guy that took on the industry and spoke up when others didn't. Why wouldn't I be the underdog? I don't know how to function if I'm the favorite. I don't. How do I function being the favorite? I'm not used to that. You're just like taking a guy from Brownfield's projects and putting him in the Hamptons and saying, live here. He's not going to function right away.
In this culture where performance-enhancing drugs seem to be the norm, Hopkins was asked about his views on drug testing.
Nowadays, with everything goes on, I think it should be beyond. I think that it should be not only a person being tested, but I think that anything that goes against the normacy of training and eating and doing the right things that I preached for all these years, called eat to live, not to die. I'm not going to give it all up, but since the cameras is here, I can tell you, if you pay attention to my plan and the way I live and the way I eat, then you have a chance, without being an athlete, to extend your life a few more years based on keeping the toxins in your body clean inside, which reflects outside. The car looks good and shiny, whether it got rims on it or not. I don't care if it's a Rolls Royce or a Volkswagen. But if the oil hasn't been changed and the transmission fluid hasn't been flushed, and the tune-up and the engine hasn't been kept, then we'll look good, shiny on the inside. It's like you think she looks good, and then you're at the hospital getting a shot in your butt because she wasn't as clean as she looked. So there are so many points I can give you as a philosopher to tell you, take a car that looks good. But until you open that engine and drive it, it don't look good no more. Because the inside haven't been taken care of. The heart is the engine. The filters on the lungs.
What kind of car are you?
I'm a Ferrari. Fast and Furious. Convertible. T-top.
What's up, Ken?
Red.
Is that Italian name?
Red. Don is a 1956 Corniche.
Sure.
Which is not a bad car. Pretty old, but it's still a classic.
Sure.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
First time, I think in a long time, totally 100% injury-free. Is that correct?
Yes.
Bravo. What was going on in other fights?
You sound like a district attorney.
No.
No. But
Injury-free.
Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit? How important that is and how rare that is?
I think I can speak for myself, but I think for any athlete, when you go in there and you know you're 100%, not that you're not ready as far as ability-wise, but physically. And physically, athletes play with nicks and pains all the time. But to come off of the Chad Dawson fight and to be able to go back in there with that short of time with such a career injury, if it was a baseball pitcher or even a golfer, they're the two sports that my doctor said that normally guys got to sort of consider what they want to do with that type of slight or even more damaging straight through tear. So to be able to rest up for the whole complete summer of 2012, and be able to have, I believe it's 15, 16 months since I've been in the ring, or close to that, I had a really chance to rest my body coming off the first Jean Pascal fight. Just expose how important and how different and how I should be more respected through the boxing media and the community and even corporate America to say, let's give Bernard Hopkins a $50 million Nike contract for health and wellness. But no, it just say that it can be done, but we need a poster boy or a poster girl or woman or man to show that it can be done. Hey, listen, we all know negative sells, but it don't hurt to promote the positive. There's some few baseball players. Grant Hill's 38 years old, still playing for the NBA. Watched him the other night. Looked great, scored a couple of points, played his role. He's not embarrassing himself. I know I'm not embarrassing myself by doing what I do right now. Matter of fact, I'm a threat to any young body to step in the ring with me. Let's highlight these guys. Take me out of the equation. The ones that do it clean. The ones that do it right. The ones that do it consistently. Especially if you're of age. when you definitely ain't supposed to be in the ring in this sport, pushing 50, taking on anybody, let alone a champion, that's undefeated. And you're clean. If I wasn't who I was, I'd stay away from that. I wouldn't add anything that got to do with the big topic of the news in the last couple of weeks with the bike racing, Lance Armstrong. But I say it to put a light on how special I am for those who wants to be in denial of what they see because of whatever reason, right? If this guy duped the government who's suing him now, which he did, if this guy duped Nike, and if this guy duped every sponsor that he had for so long and got away with it, and I'm doing this shit clean and nobody's paying attention, then I have to bring attention to it by mentioning him with me. That's brilliancy. That's right. That's not a boxer. That's not a punch drunk, broke, fighting for whatever cause is negative. That's a guy that some are threatened by, and that's a guy that some inspired by.
Bernard, do you think
what a strong speech and motivation.
Clap,
No, I don't want to clap. I want to offer. I want to offer, brother. No, don't give me that.
Bernard.